So here comes the fun part. We're going to start giving this little lady some character. So I always think that the eyes are the important part, and so we're going to focus on the eyes. Let's just first get the shapes right and the eyebrows up. Okay, and then I'm going to put a thin little snake of clay along the bottom of the eye, just to give it more definition. Okay, so there we go. Starting from the inner corner, oops, and bringing it around to the outer edge. Cut it off. And then this is the bottom eyelid that you are now making here. So we're going to blend it in nicely at the top edge and then the bottom edge. So we're going to blend it in the bottom here. That is the beginning of our aging process of the face. Make sure that the top eyelid is still above, or it looks as if the bottom eyelid is disappearing behind the top one. Okay, then same on the other side. Then the top part of the bottom eyelid, and then the bottom. Squish it down. Into the cheek, and then blend it. What we'll be doing next is adding a little eye bag. All right. And then eye bags, little piece of clay, and I'm going to roll it into a ball and then make a long teardrop. Okay, so there we have a long teardrop, which I'm then going to put under the eye. Another one on the other side. Oops, under the eye. All right. And again, blend. Just always make sure that any clay that you add doesn't look like it's been added. Make it look as if it's part of the whole. Very important thing. All right. There we go. Some hectic eye bags. Then we're going to work on the nose. So underneath the nose, I feel that it disappears too much. So I'm going to put a tiny bit on the center bit, just to bring it out a little. And again, blend. All right, I think that's nicer. And then where the nose flares out, we're going to bring the clay up to that point, and then I'm just going to give it a little indent there. Other side. So the smile line comes up to that point. And then indent the nose. Okay. All right. Right, she's starting to look a little bit older already just because of those few things that I've done. Now we're going to start giving her some wrinkles next to the nose, going into the eyebrow area. Frown lines, you can give her more if you want to. You can, in fact, continue in the eyebrow area. Then I'm just going to get a tool with a finer point so that I can give her some forehead wrinkles. For this, I'm using this tool. It is quite sharp. And I'm going to go in this shape like that, and down, and the other side as well. Now, a lot of these are going to disappear into her hairline, but it's best to have them because we're going to be baking and you can't add them once you want to put the hair. Giving her some wrinkles up next to her ears. This ear is getting a bit smushed. Okay. Then, on the eye bags, start in the center and move outwards. And then the eye itself, have one coming from the top lid, and a few more, because this lady is a fun lady and she smiles a lot. And we have some going down the cheek. The eye bag, starting in the center and going outwards. Then from the top eyelid, the laugh lines. And going down the cheek. Then, very lightly, I go in the opposite direction. So I'll make like cross-hatching. I will also put lines coming down the face. And I will cross-hatch those two. Oh! Looking at her now, and also on all over the place, I just have lines going in various directions. Looking at her now, I realize the tongue is way too long. So I'm just going to pinch some off. And then I will smooth the tip again. And repair the split. Right. Eyes also have wrinkles going along the eyelid. And then you can also do general in all kinds of other directions. Sorry, yeah. The nose across the bridge. Then the mouth, most older people tend to get lines in their lips that move towards the outer edge of the top lip muscle. And then the lips itself also. Bottom lip, where you can get to it under the tongue. The chin has lines across. What else? Okay, now I will spend time just looking and deciding where I need more. Oh, the ear. Alright, so now I will look at her for the next few days or hours or something and decide where else she needs any more detail to be added. But I think this is enough for this time.